Yo, what's good with you? In today's video, I got the how to make a skill tree video. Did a poll for this. Did a poll for this. I think it was like 2, 3 days ago. Like by the time I was watching this, it was like 3 weeks ago. I did the poll, but yeah, like about I think like a good amount. It was like 90 something percent said they wanted the skill tree. And I'm like, all right, bet. Literally the idea randomly came to me, and I'm like, you know what? Let me do a skill tree. I haven't done that yet. It's gonna be similar to my stat system and stuff. If you watch those videos and stuff, so yeah, let's go ahead and get straight into it. Okay. So first things first, we're of course are going to need to create a UI. Let's go ahead and knock out the UI, then we'll do the remote event, then we'll get to the actual scripting. So first things first, let's head on over to starter GUI, insert a screen GUI, right? And then let's set some properties. We are going to, okay, so when we finish setting up the UI by default, we're of course going to disable it. We do not want it to be enabled, but since we're setting it up and stuff, we want to, see it as we edit it and stuff. So we're going to leave that enabled for now. We're going to ignore GUI inset so that it can, take over the entire screen because that's what a skill tree usually looks like. And then I'm going to disable reset on spawn, and then that's it for those properties, except, oh, sorry, the name as well. We're going to rename this to skill tree GUI, right? Then I'm going to insert a frame, and then I'm going to rename said frame to skill tree frame. And then for the sizing, you're going to do 2,0, 2,0, so it takes up the entire screen. Damn, that is just bright. Anyway, so we're going to set the background color to like a nice dark grayish color and stuff. I mean, okay, I just want to make it clear the colors and stuff that is completely up to y'all. I just want to, this is just like, how I'm just going with the black and white theme, but you guys can go whatever colors you want. But yeah, so I'm just do like a nice dark but not too dark type of color, you know what I'm saying, nice in between. And then I'm going to go ahead and insert a image button. I actually think this is the first video. Wait, no, I think this is like the second video I've ever made where I use image buttons. But yeah, so you can insert an image button. They work the same as text buttons. They just, instead of text, it's an image. If you guys want to know where I got the images from, I'll leave a link in the description, or you could just type this in and stuff. Here I got all the icons from this website and stuff. These are the IDs. I'm pretty sure you guys have to use your own IDs. I'm not totally sure if like it works the same with animations. I mean, you guys can try to see if these IDs work. If they do for you, then great, go ahead and use them if you want. I just don't know if it works the same with animation IDs, because animation IDs you have to use your own and stuff, right? But yeah, so you're gonna get your image, right? Once you've gotten your image button, you would click here, you click image, add image, and you would get the file from your file explorer, right? And then once you do that, I'm just gonna do it like this. I'm doing it a little differently stuff since I've already done it. So I'm just gonna paste that, Control V, boom, right? I'm gonna paste it like that, right? Then I'm going to rename this button to skill 1 button. You guys already know how I am about naming. Make sure you name everything exactly as I named it and stuff, because as is very important. So we have icons for our the different skills in the what is it called, skill tree. Yes. So as for transparency and everything, we want the background to be transparent, be fully transparent, right? The plan is to set the transparency to 0.5 except for when we own a skill. That's how players know they own the skill, right? So we're gonna set it we're gonna set the background transparency to 1. It could be tripping, or is it like the black is like it's very bright, but I mean very dark, but no, I think it's good honestly. But anyway, let's go ahead and what was the other thing? Oh, I needed to position it right. Okay, so I'm gonna put it like in the middle, like right here. I'm gonna leave space down here for the available points. Then you're just gonna copy and paste it. So Control C, or sorry, Control D. Let's duplicate, not copy and paste. But you can do both. Either one works. But yeah, so I'm just gonna drag that here, and boom, do the same thing again. Drag that there, right? Space them out kind of evenly, right? And then obviously I'm going to change the icons. That's skill 1. This will be skill 2. And then I'm going to update the icon for it. Skill 2. And then I'm going to go ahead and update this one as well. Skill 3. Boom. And then I'm going to update the name to skill 3 button. Boom. Just like that, guys, we have our skill buttons. Now I'm going to insert a text label. This is going to be my available points text label. You're going to drag your text label to like in the middle, kind of down here, right? I'm going to rename this text label to available points text label, so the players know how many points they can spend. Then of course by default I'll set the text. Oh, wrong thing. By default, we're gonna scale the text. We're gonna set the text to available points, right? Rich text, bold text, and then we're going to set the text color to white. Then I'm going. Wait, was it white or was it like a gray? I think it was like a. I'm pretty sure it was like a white. Or I want to say it was kind of like a lighter gray. So maybe I do like like a lighter gray. Also, yeah, something like that. But yeah, then of course we're going to make the background fully transparent. So background transparency, boom, right? So just like that, I have my available point set up. Then I'm going to duplicate this, Control D. I'm going to drag this over here. So I originally had it up here, but then I realized the new Roblox UI is in the middle, like it's blocking it a little. So I was just like, let me move it down a little. So yeah, gonna have this here, right? This is going to be this name of the skill. So we're going to rename this to skill. What was it? I think this was oh yeah, skill name text label, right? Oh, by the way, if you don't understand how this is gonna work, so these are buttons, right? When we hover over the buttons, the skills, it's going to show me the name of the skill here, and then it's going to show me like the description, like what this what the skill does here and stuff. So yeah, that's what we're setting up right now in case you were a little confused. But yeah, then we're going to come down here, set up the text. This is going to be skill name, right? Then you can duplicate this, Control D, drag it, right below it. And then for this, I just wanted to make the text color just a little bit different, just a little different. So like, since it's like, this is the description, so I'm gonna make it gray. And like I said, this is the description rather than the name. So skill description, and then same thing up here, skill description text label. Boom, right? And then all I really did was just add a UI grid layout into sorry, no UI grid, UI corner, just so that it has so that the corners are like nice and curvy, so like 15 and stuff. And then you guys will see it like when you do the transparency. Yeah, you'll see it here. So yeah, you can set the transparency to 0.5 and then play around with that. Yeah, there we go. Okay, that looks good. So yeah. So remember, we're gonna set this back to 1, and then you can just duplicate this and throw this inside of each individual button, and then boom, just like that, guys, we set up the UI. Honestly, that's probably one of the quickest UI setups in a minute, but anyway. So like I said, by default, you want to disable the skill tree GUI. We're going to enable it via the MQ bind, right? And then we're gonna go ahead and set up a folder instead of server storage. Let me go ahead and click the plus icon. You're going to insert a folder. You're going to rename said folder to skill folder. You're pretty much just going to hold the names and descriptions for all the different skills. Because I'm assuming, like now in some games, every player has like the same skills, like where like they can purchase any amount of skills. But then like in certain games, I know like if you have like a certain class or something, then you have access to certain skills. So that's why I just felt like it was good to be able to differentiate between them, right? So we're going to insert a string value. You're going to rename the string value to skill followed by the number, so skill 1. Then the value is going to be the description for the skill, right? So I'm going to say this is a sword. I'm going to say this is a sword / skill, right? Then I'm going to insert another string value into it, and then I'm going to rename this to skill name. And as the name implies, this will be the name of the skill. I'm going to then set the skill name to piercing / right? And then boom, we're just gonna duplicate this, Control D, and then just change it just for all of them. So skill 2. Then for the skill name, let me make the UI and let me enable it just so I can see what the icons look like. Okay, so this is a fireball. Say fireball skill. And then just name this fireball. And then skill 3. Boom. Then this is a telekinesis skill. I remember that's what I want with I don't even know how to spell this, not gonna lie. Telekinesis. Telekinesis. I think that's how you spell it. I honestly do not know. I know I'm close though. But anyway, then of course I'm gonna update the skill name to literally just or yeah, let's do shock blast. Yeah, something like that. Right. That'll be the name of, yeah, that'll be the name of the skill. And then boom, just like that, guys, we have set up our skills. By the way, you can make more than 3, less than 3. It's up to you for how many you want to do and stuff. Just follow the naming scheme. I've been the format I've been doing, and then you'll be good. And then I also have a sound and sound service. It's like a ding sound. It's literally the what's it called? It's going to be the sound that plays whenever a player purchases a skill. It's actually interesting. This is actually the sound that plays when you contact like Google support. But anyway, I literally just thought about that when I heard it. But anyway, we're gonna go ahead and get to the actual scripting now. Once we create our remote event, let's head on over to replicate the storage and insert a remote event. Going to rename this remote event to skill tree event. Right, then let me open up Starter Player, insert a local script into Starter Player scripts. I'm going to rename this script to skill tree script, in parentheses put local. Right, I'm going to delete print hello world. We gotta make a couple of variables. We gotta create a couple of variables. Not gonna lie. Let's first get our services. So first things first, we're gonna get the user input service. Local UIS equal to game get service user input service. Then I'm going to get the sound service, local SS equal to game, get service, sound service. Then I'm going to get the skill tree remote event. I'm going to say local skill tree event. And let me just double check. Okay, I'm good. So local skill tree event, right? And then I'm going to say is equal to game, that replicated storage, wait for child, skill tree event. Then I'm going to create a variable for the local player. So local player is equal to game.players.local player. And then lastly, I'm going to get this skill tree GUI. So I'm going to say local skill tree GUI is equal to player.player GUI, wait for child. Then I'm going to say skill tree GUI, right? And then I'm going to set up the first function. So I'm going to say UIS that input began, connect function. In parentheses, you're going to put input, comma, processed. Enter, then you're going to say if input.user type is equal to enum.user type that keyboard and not process, which pretty much means the player is not typing in chat. Then enter. You're then going to say if input.keycode is equal to enum.keycode. You go whatever keybind you want. I went with M because it's like a menu keybind, right? Enter. You're then going to say skill tree GUI.skill tree frame. We're pretty much setting the available points text label and stuff. We're pretty much we're going to display how many points the player has to be able to spend on skills and stuff. So yeah, skill tree frame, then available points text label dot text equal to quotation marks available space points colon space dot dot dot. Then you're gonna say player dot stats, which is gonna be, we're gonna create a stats folder, then the dot available points, then dot value. Boom, right? And then after that, I'm going to enable the menu. So I'm gonna say skill tree GUI dot enabled is equal to not skill tree GUI dot enabled. So that this pretty much means that the player can press M to open and close the menu at the same time, or not at the same time, but like it's dual purpose, right? Then I'm gonna set up a for I loop and stuff. So first things first, let's say for I comma v in pairs, skill tree GUI, that skill tree frame, get children, enter. Then I'm going to say if v is a, remember, image button. All right, then enter. You're gonna create a variable local skill number is equal to string.split. Okay, string.split. Don't know how that happened, but anyway, string.split. You're going to say v.name for the string, comma, and then you're going to separate it with the word button. Now, the reason for this, we understand what this is doing. This is pretty much splitting the name of the button. So skill 1 button. You guys see in the skill folder, it's just skill 1. So I'm trying to split it. I just want it to be skill 1 if skill 1 is equal to skill 1, not if skill 1 is equal to skill 1 button, as it obviously wouldn't work because those are two different names, right? Then we're going to put regular brackets, and then you're going to put 1 because it'll return a table. So then I'm going to use an if statement. This is to check if the player already owns the skill. If they do, it's going to make it so that it appears equipped, or not equipped, sorry, that like it has, the background is half transparent, so that players know, okay, I already own that skill. So I'm going to say if player dot stats, remember the stats folder, regular bracket, quotation marks, owned, dot dot dot. Then you're going to say skill number. Go on the outside and say dot value is equal to true, which means the player owns said skill. Then enter. You're then going to say v dot background transparency is equal to 0.5. That's how we know player. That's how they know That's how the player knows that they own the skill. And sorry if I sound a little tired. I am a little tired, not gonna lie. But anyway, we're then gonna set up a couple functions. So first things first, remember how I don't know if I mentioned this, but I'm gonna have it to where like when you hover over the skill name and skill description is going to update. Like it's gonna show, okay, this is the name of this skill, this is the description of the skill, and then of course when you move your mouse away, it's going to just disappear. It's gonna be nothing. So I'm gonna create the function. I'm gonna say v.mouse enter, which pretty much means the player's mouse entered the you can say the box like this and stuff. Anytime the player's mouse enters this, it's gonna trigger this function. So v.mouse enter, connect function, close parentheses, enter, right? Then I'm going to say skill tree event fire server. In quotation marks, I'm going to say skill info because we're pretty much just literally we're just getting the info for the skill stuff. We just want to know the name and the description. So then I'm going to send over the name of said skill, right? Then I'm going to say v.mouse leave, create a function inside of it. So as you can probably tell, that's the opposite when the player's mouse leaves the button. So v.mouse leave connect function, right? And then for this function, you're going to actually copy and paste. You're going to go up here, Control C, Control V, right? You're going, sorry, actually, that'll actually work. You're going to go there, right? And then you're going to change this to, let's do skill name text label. Yeah, you're going to do skill name text label, and then you're just going to set it to this. Boom, nothing. And then Control C, Control V, then do the same thing with the description. Skill description text label, we're just setting the text to nothing. Then I'm going to go after, so skip two ends, and you're going to set up one more function inside of it. You're going to say v.mouse button one click. This is for if a player is trying to purchase the skill. So connect function, close parentheses, enter. And then I'm going to say, same thing, let's just copy and paste, save ourselves some time. Like that, Control C, Control V, boom. Then you're just going to fire their mode event again. So skill tree event, fire server. This time you're going to put skill purchase for the name event. For the event name, skill purchase. Then you're of course going to send over the skill number. And boom, just like that, guys, we have finished setting up the first couple functions inside of our main function. We have one more main function to set up, and then we can move to the server script. Okay, so I'm going to say skill tree event that on client event connect function. In parentheses, you're going to put event type and a couple of arguments. So event type arg1, arg2, arg3, short for arguments, which are pieces of information sent from the server to the client in this case. Then I'm going to set up an if statement. I'm going to say if event type is equal to quotation marks, the name of the event will be skill info for the first one. This is for when we want to know the name and a brief description of the said skill. So I'm going to create three variables. First things first, I'm going to say local skill. I just realized there's no point in. You actually don't need. Yeah, okay, I only need two. Yeah. Oh, okay, yeah, okay. Actually, hold on. We're going to delete argument number 3. I originally thought I needed it, but then I realized I only needed to send over 2 pieces of information. I only needed the this skill description and the skill name. Yeah, so we're gonna do first skill description, which is argument number 1, then skill name, which is argument number 2, right? And then I'm going to set the text. So we can really just copy and paste once again. Just come up here, Control C, Control V, and then you're going to set the text. So for skill name, you're going to throw the skill name. Then for the skill description, you're going to throw the skill description in there. Boom. And now we can set up the other event, and then we're done with the local script. So let's say else if event type is equal to in quotation marks, then this will be skill update, which pretty much just means it's updating the tree pretty much. That's what that means. So gonna create a variable, local skill name. This time it'll be argument number 1. And then I'm gonna set up a for I loop. I'm gonna say for I comma v in pairs, and then I'm going to say player, or actually wait, no, I forgot. I don't need to do that actually. I'm going to do skill tree GUI instead. Dot skill tree frame get children enter, and then I'm gonna say if v dot name is equal to skill number, or sorry, it's not skill number. Skill name. Oh, I just realized. Sorry. Not skill name. Rename this to skill number. Like I said, I'm a little tired. I'm sorry, guys. But yeah, sorry. It's supposed to be skill number. So Control C, Control V. Boom. Easy fix. But yeah, skill number, quotation marks, then throw a button, enter. then I'm going to say v.background transparency is equal to 0.5. Remember, this is how I said we know that we own said skill. And then just for the last things, we're going to update the available point text label, since obviously, we decreased since they just purchased a skill. So Control C, Control V, right? And then lastly, we're going to use the sound service to play our ding sound, just to let players know, okay, you have successfully purchased that skill. Now we can move to the server script. We are halfway done with this, because the server side it's not that much, especially since I can do a lot of copy and pasting. So of course, remember, like I said, disable it. Head on over to server script service. We're going to insert a server script, rename said script to skill tree script. In parentheses, put server. I'm going to delete print hello world. We only need to create 3 variables. First, let's create a skill tree data store. I'm going to say local skill tree data store. Of course, we need data saving. So it's equal to game get service data store service. Get data store in quotation marks. You're going to put skill tree data store, right? And then if you don't know how to enable data storage, game settings, security, then you're going to enable studio access API services. Make sure this is green. Click save, publish just in case, and yeah, we should be good to go. So yeah, there's a data store. Then we're gonna create a variable for the skill tree remote event. So then let's just save ourselves some time. Control C, Control V, and then lastly, let's create a variable for the skill folder, which is inside the server storage. So skill folder is equal to game server storage away for child skill folder, right? Now we can set up the first function. This is data loading slash data creation, I guess you could say. So I'm going to say game.players, that player added, connect function, in parentheses put PLR, which is short for the player, then enter, where they're going to create the stats folder. So local stats is equal to instance.new, and in quotation marks, you want to put folder, parent this to the player, then stats.name. So of course equal to stats. Then let's create the individual values. So first things first, we're going to set up the available points. So local available points is equal to instance.new, in quotation marks, this is going to be a number value, of course, parent this to the stats folder. And then you're going to set the name to the same thing, available points. And then you're going to set the text as well. I'm sorry, not the text, the value. Value by default. In most games, usually like 3 or 5. So, but it's up to you guys, really. It's for how many points you want. So then I'm just going to copy and paste this here to save ourselves some time. Control C, Control V, and then I'm going to rename this. So this is going to be owned skill 1. Remember, naming is very important. Notice how the skill folder, notice how they're the exact same name, except it just has the owned right before it. Naming is very important. So then Control C, Control V, Control V, Control V, change this to a bool value, of course. And then by default, this would be false. Then we can just copy and paste this 2 more times. Control C, remember, copy paste this as many times as for how many skills you have. Like you need, if you have four skills, you should have four of these values. So 1, 2, because I only have 3. So then 2, Control C, Control V, Control V, Control V, come down here, throw a 3 on there, Control C, Control V, Control V, and Control V. Boom, right? Then we can set up the player's key. So local key is equal to player.user_id. I recommend using player's user ID to save their data and stuff. It's the most reliable thing you can save it to. Then let's set up a protected call function. I'm going to say local success, error message is equal to pcall function, right? Close parentheses, enter. Let me just, okay, I'm good. Because I'm going to tweak out if my mic cuts off or something like that, and I record the whole entire video and like I'm mute, because it has happened before. I don't know if anyone saw that video, but anyway, I'm gonna get back to the thing. So let's create a variable for the player's data, assuming they have any, of course. Local data is equal to, remember, our data store. So it was like skill tree data store. I'm gonna say get async, throw the key in there. And then I'm going to say if data, so pretty much if the player has any data saved, then we're gonna set the values. So the available points, that value is equal to data regular brackets 1. Then you're just going to keep the cycle going. So on skilled 1 dot value is equal to data 2, right? Then on skilled 2 dot value is equal to data regular brackets 3. And then lastly on skilled 3 dot value is equal to data regular brackets 4. And then boom, you just keep that order going. Then you're going to go after this function, and then you're going to set up another function. You're going to say while not success, or sorry, not a function, a loop. So while not success, enter. Then, as always, copy and paste all of this, Control C, Control V, then lastly, throw a task.wait, 3 seconds, up to you guys for however long you want to wait, but yeah. Then I'm going to set up the second function, the second main function on the script. this is going on the server script. This is going to be our data saving function. So we're going to say game.players.player removing connect function, close parentheses, enter, or sorry, not close parentheses, put PLR register for the player. Then let's create a variable for the player's key. So local key, remember it is the player's user ID. Then I'm going to set up the protect the call function. So local success, error message is equal to pcall function, close parentheses, enter, right? And then I'm going to create a data table. I'm going to say local data table is equal to special brackets. Then I'm going to insert the values. So I'm going to say for I comma v and pair. Since all the values I need to save are inside of one folder, inside of one place, I can just access them all by just using a for I v and pairs loop. So I'm going to say player.stats, which is the folder, get children, parentheses, enter. And then I'm going to simply just say table.insert data table comma v.value, because that's what we need to save is the values. And lastly, you're going to say skill tree data store set async key comma data table, boom, just like that, right? Then I'm going to set up the while loop just like we did in the first function. So while not success, enter, right? Then you're just gonna once again copy and paste, Control C, Control V, and then wait once again 3 seconds. Now onto the last function. This function is going to handle when a player is trying to retrieve info for a skill or about a skill, and when they're trying to purchase a skill. So this is going to be our on server event function. We're going to say skill tree event that on server event connect function, right? And then in parentheses, I'm going to I'm going to put PLR register for the player, then comma event type, then arg1 enter. Normally I get the player's, so I do normally get the player's character, but surprisingly don't need it. So I'm just gonna keep it to the if statements. So we're gonna do if event type is equal to, in quotation marks, for the first event, it of course should be skill info, right? I'm going to create a variable for the skill number. So local skill number is equal to argument number 1. Then I'm gonna use a for I loop. I'm gonna say for I comma v in pairs. I'm gonna say skill folder get children, enter. I'm gonna say if v.name quotation marks button, right, is equal to skilled number, enter. Then I'm gonna say skill tree event buyer client singular, buyer to the player, comma the name of the event will be skill info, same as the server side one. Then comma you're gonna send over the what did I send over? What did I send over first? Or what did I receive first? I guess what did I receive first? Skill description, then name. Okay, so yeah, skill description, that's the description. And why is this so far? So yeah, that's the description, and then sending over the name. So then v.skill name value. Boom. Right, we're gonna send all that over, and then to say that guys, we are done with the first or the second to last event, I should say actually. Now to set up the second one. So else if event type is equal to, in quotation marks, purchase, or sorry, not purchase, skill purchase, not, I was about to say purchase skill, but enter. Then same thing, we could just Control C this, Control C, Control V, boom. Now onto the skill number. Onto the skill purchase. So I'm gonna use the if statement. I'm gonna say if player.stats, remember our stats folder, regular brackets, quotation marks, I'm gonna say owned, Then I'm gonna say skill number dot value is equal to false, just pretty much just making sure the player does not own it, because obviously we wouldn't want them to waste points on something they already own. And player dot stats dot available points dot value is greater than 0, because of course we also need players to be able to have points to spend. Then I'm going to just simply say player dot stats dot available points dot value is less than equal to 1, since they just spent 1. And then the same thing, let's just copy and paste to save ourselves some time. Control C, Control V. Set this to true, delete 1 equal sign, and then boom. Right, so the player now owns it. And then lastly, all we gotta say is skill tree event, buyer client, and remember singular, buyer to the player. Quotation marks, the name of the event is skill update. And then lastly, just send over the skill number. And boom, just like that, guys, we are done. Let's go ahead and test to make sure this works. As always, if you guys want access to any one of my scripts modded, you guys can become either a channel member or a Discord subscriber. Link to either one of those options can be found in the description. I highly recommend you guys to join. And shout out to all my Discord subscribers and YouTube members. Y'all have been killing it. I really do appreciate all the love and support. and stuff. And let's go ahead and test to make sure this works. I'll also join my Roblox group. Y'all been killing it too there. I'm almost at 1,000 members there. But anyway, so actually I need to set my values real quick because since I obviously tested it before, you guys see how it says 0 and stuff. It's because it saved from me testing it before. That's the only reason why this stuff is it was set, like it was automatically already set before. So yeah. So if I press M, you guys see I have 3 points available. If I hover over it, you guys see it has the name of the skill followed by a brief description of the skill. Then if I go out of range, stop touching it, nothing is there. Then boom, I go to another one. This is a fireball skill. Then shock blast, shock blast, shock blast. Right now, if I click it, since I have enough points, I now own said skill. Then if I press M, go back into it, I still own it, right? Then I can boom, and it won't charge me, it won't double charge me, nothing. I have to not own it to be able to purchase it, and then boom. So I purchased all the skills, right? Now let's go ahead and test to make sure that data saving works properly. Let's check to make sure our values were updated. Yep, there we go. They're all set to true. So remember how we test, we switch to the server side, delete our player instance, and then wait a few seconds to ensure that the data was saved. Stop, play, and let's see what we're talking about. If I press M, boom, all my skills are saved. There we go. Yeah, that's how you make a skill tree system. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Definitely was a fun idea to make. This stuff is definitely some fun to make and stuff. I could show it a part 2 if you guys want more. If you have any suggestions or you find any bugs or anything, let me know in the comments and I will address them in a future part. Stuff. I appreciate everyone who watched the video and stuff. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you guys for watching.